Live from the Cactus Creek at Ibri, he is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
The KSM Show.
Yeah, Abraham bin Moshe, leader of Common Sense Family nie. Me can for the KSM Show at the amount. Open program one, obeti nyansasem critical issues. Ya dwene ho a ebeboa ye man ene ya brabo a the KSM Show. Dey bia me kasa adwene anya adwuma body ne bre. One time for your mind, yo.
We're back with the final conclusion of my chat with Kofi here. Kofi, welcome back. Well, you didn't really go, but welcome to the...
Thank you.
Yeah, and I wanted to wrap it all up, you know. You said a lot. Even before we go into other things, there's one guy on the scene too, Cheddar, who's also aiming at the youth, and he says he himself, he's one of them. Oh yeah, Abofra to say, you know.
He's much younger.
He's much younger.
Yeah, I won't take anything from him. He's much younger.
He's much younger. Yeah, he's much younger. Have there been any conversation between you and him? Do you guys think about, not just you, but you, Cheddar, all the smaller independents who seem to be wanting to change this duopoly? Have you guys gotten together and shot the breeze about maybe picking one out of you to lead the group to do something?
Cheddar is a friend. So he called me, about 5 weeks ago, so something like that. We sat down, we had a good conversation, and we appreciate everything he's doing because he means well. So we speaking, our shops are speaking. Hopefully we able to, if the idea is, listen, if we all mean well and we all want to elevate Ghana, then it doesn't hurt to bring our energies together because it makes the shuttle lift off much easier. So conversation is being had. It hasn't concluded yet because there's a lot of stuff he's pushing on his side, and there's a lot of stuff I am pushing on my side. So at some point, hopefully, we'll be able to come together. And it's the same conversation we're having with everybody else who is an independent or a smaller political party who means well for Ghana. My exceptions has been and will always be the three things, the threesome: change the constitution, eradicate corruption, institute a national development plan. These are the non-negotiables. You have to do these three because not unless these three things are done, Ghana cannot change. So anybody who wants to run for president who doesn't have these three on their menu, they're not happening. Okay, and the fourth one will be to reduce government by at least 73%. Reduce government, make it effective, efficient, and functional. And the fifth thing will be to invest $10 billion into agriculture every year for the next 10 years, invest into drone-controlled mechanized farming.
Okay. The next question is this. Are these ideas highfalutin ideas? I'm going to invest $10 billion in agric for the next 10 years in Ghana. Where's the money coming from? And where do you even start? Where's your starting point?
It's very simple. The biggest farm in China has over 100,000 cows and is over 2.5 million acres. So it's been done. Ghana, of course, will be on a much smaller scale. But the big question that everybody asks is, where's the money coming from? So now let me do some simple math for you to understand. Without even touching adding value to our exportables, only 30% of people who work in Ghana pay taxes. 30%, about. So by doing what we call an integrated national ID and address system, we're going to increase that 30 percentile to 90 percentile, 300%. Okay? by just doing an integrated national ID and address system. That means everybody who's a Ghanaian will be counted. Now, there is a group of people who work in Ghana. 80% of them are in the micro, small, and medium enterprises. 90% of that 80% is in the informal sector. So one of the things that none of these governments have been able to do is move people from the informal to the formal. When you formalize them, you put them on a system, they're on the grid. So now when they make money, it shows up on the grid. So that's extra income, you see? So that's extra income nobody talks about. And then there are all these tax rebates that we give all these foreign companies, which quite honestly we need to cut. And the reason is when these foreign investments come into Ghana and make money, they don't have any requirement to keep their liquidity in Ghana. So whatever monies they make, they take it all out of Ghana. And that further puts us in a bad situation to need more forex, which is not good because it weakens our city. So we need to, number one, not give them all the rebates, all the tax incentives that we're giving them. It doesn't make any kind of sense. And the reason is because if for you to make money, you have to employ people. And if you employ them and they're giving you competence and their work, their labor, they just deserve to be paid. It's an equitable transaction. So I don't see why we need to give you a special incentive for you to come set up in Ghana. You come into Ghana to set up because labor is cheap and you have access to some resources that you will need. So there's no need to give you an incentive. So all the tax incentives going to all these, foreign direct investment, FDIs, will cut under my administration. And of course, because of the one district, one factory, they have created all these artificial situations where they're giving monies to all these FD, one district, one factories that has been created by Ghanaians as if it were foreign direct investments. That's also going to cut. So that's income from there. And then, of course, with the $3 to $4 billion that we lose from corruption every year, we have a paper trail on that. Why shouldn't that stop? If you have a paper trail on who is taking the money.
I'll say, Kofi, it sounds almost good and perfect on paper. Mm-hmm. You know, when it comes to the actual implementation, it's a different story.
So now my question to you is, what do you think will be the roadblock? Tell me and let me tell you how we're going to solve it. What's going to be the roadblock? I've told you where the sources are going to come from. What do you think is going to be the roadblock? The Constitution.
Number one, even where's the data in terms of businesses? Mm-hmm. The data in terms of businesses that are formal and informal. Where is that accurate data that you can even work with? So you can make projections. That when I mesh them and integrate them, as you're saying, we are expected to get X amount of CDs out of this, and we can do this, and we can get X amount of CDs. Where's the data?
Very simple. You start with first establishing an integrated national ID and address system so that every Ghanaian is on that national depository system. Okay?
That's been started.
No, well, no. That's really that's the on paper thing you want to make reference to, because that's only on paper. Okay, the identification process have been started, but it's not integrated. So if I go and say do a transaction at a bank, it's not recorded anywhere. Who records it? The bank records it, but it's not integrated, so nobody picks it up. If somebody who sells tomatoes goes to the bank and does a transaction, how do we know? So now this is how it's going to work. So long as we have a unique identifier for everybody in Ghana, then we know you exist. If you exist, you have to live someplace. Wherever you live has to have an address. Okay, so if you say you sell tomatoes outside of your door and you're not going to register, good. You will go and buy credit at some point. You need your unique identifier to buy credit. So you have put yourself on the grid. Once you put yourself on the grid, how are you making income? You have
Yeah, okay. How many years are you looking at to set this foundation and make it efficient? Because it is quite a complicated, it involves a lot. So say you're a president, okay, you've been sworn in, and you're giving your speech to Ghana. Where do you start? What are you telling the people? Because everything you're talking about is a change of mindset. We need to do this. We need to elevate this. We are looking at Ghana, placing Ghana in the global, These are big things.
okay.
And they take planning, and it takes stages, and it takes steps.
Okay.
You are telling us brilliantly what has happened at the end of all the steps. So,
Okay.
this is what we have.
This is how it look like.
This is how it looks like. Thank you.
So now let me start by saying this. So baby steps. Okay. So Kofi Koranteng has been sworn in. We come into power. We're going to institute ROPA, 24 hours. These are 20. I can't tell you everything on my sheet because it's pretty drastic. The first 24 hours, what we're going to do. Okay. I can't tell you. I have everything planned out, unfortunately. But I can't tell you because people might run away. I mean, so we can't tell you. But no, seriously though. So the first thing is this, because Mr. Baumia made an attempt to do the Ghana card. So some level of infrastructure has been done, but it's not tight because you have all these foreigners who are not Ghanaians who have a Ghana card. Okay. So we have to clean out that system. We have to purge and recertify people. And we'll start from the public sector because you're already in a system. So everybody in the public sector, it so happens for us that the government employs more people than anybody else. So you see how simple that's going to be? You're already on the grid. So we need for you to recertify so we can reevaluate and clean out your biometrics. So you go on the grid. So then we are left with 30% of the people who are not on the grid. So that's where we start. Any interaction with somebody who's not on the grid, you will be required to certify your, there's some neat things I can't tell you because I'll be letting the cat out of the bag. But also.
That's the problem though, because...
So now I'll tell you a couple of things. So first thing is integrated national ID and address system. So because we want to count all the monies that are supposed to be coming in. We're going to cut size of government. Okay? You don't require any special computers to do that. Okay? Ministries are too large, totally inefficient. We're going to cut some of them and reposition them back into our agriculture. Now, the other thing too is there's just too much waste. So all non-essential projects are going to be put on indefinite hold. Something like the cathedral. Well, it's already seems to have taken its own life out, but that is going to happen. And there are other non-essentials that we're going to put on hold. Okay? And then once we do the integrated national ID and address system and we can account for every Ghanaian, then we're going to give amnesties to the paper trail. Now, so that you know, every monies that came in through IMF, it came in, it's an entry point. So we know it went to the ministry. We know the sector that it went to, finance minister. Okay, you know that. Okay. So the finance ministry have a register. They have a register in terms of how the monies are divvied up. So if let's just say they gave 500 million to Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture would have to account to us to let us know what you did with the 500 million. Cecilia Dapa would have to tell us when she was in sanitation what she did with the $43 million. If you cannot account, then you have 30 days to bring the money in. Okay,
but no, I'm not disputing anything. I'm saying it's great on paper.
Listen, and let me
but
tell you
actual
another
implementation will be totally different.
But
you give me somebody 30 days to return money they have.
Well, if you have a good reason to extend that time, that's
no,
good.
they don't
But let me
have
tell
it. You're thinking
don't
the
have
money
it?
is sitting down somewhere.
Oh.
It's been disbursed and
Okay, well, we will find out. Listen, let me tell you this. This is what Lee Kuan Yew did. I don't know if you've read the story. When I went to Singapore, I went to the National Development Center And I learned a lot from what he did. And that's the same process we are going to use. So to you, because nobody's ever done it before, so it sounds so difficult. To me, it's like, oh, wow, we actually have a better system than Singapore. Singapore, the things we are going to do now to turn Ghana around is much easier than what Singapore had to go through at the time that they did what they did to be number 3 country today. Do you see what I'm saying? So what I always tell people is, this is how you have to think about it. If you don't have a trained mind in doing these things, it's so far from reality for you because you think, oh, it's not possible. Okay? If you have a trained mind and you have gone through processes like these, then you know it can be done because you only need to set one domino in effect. It kicks everything into place. That's how it works. Once you change the leadership and you assemble the mastermind who comes together in all these different sectors and they know exactly what they have to do, it all comes together. Put this way, this is the consolation. If it were not possible, nations worse than us would not have been able to put their act together. Ibrahim Traore has been there for less than 6 months, and look at the change he's brought. Everybody thought it was impossible. Look at what he's been able to do. And he's nowhere as technical as I am. And look at the change. Just by the leader being there and saying, I don't want this done, I want this done, it's finding its place. I'm going to be 100 times more detailed than Ibrahim Traore in the things that we're going to do. So you can imagine. You need a leader. Ibrahim Traore has done it. Kagame did it. For a place where they were chopping people's hands and limbs off, look at what he's been able to do, right? So it's not impossible. You just need a system. Listen, we have been running a personality-driven society for the longest while. So a lot of people can't see how you can bring in a systems-run society for things to go in order. I have lived in a systems-run economy almost all my life. So to me, it's not a difficult thing. You know, you've just gotten a little too used to the Ghana way of life. So they have converted you. Be careful.
No, they haven't converted me. Because I am on the ground on a daily basis. And I'm encountering them. And I have to figure a way to break into a system which is hardcore, man.
If I were to put you in a cockpit right now to fly a 380 to Dubai, would you be able to do it?
No.
Would you know where to start?
No.
Exactly. That's how this is. See, if you bring a pilot down and you say, hey, listen, take this plane, bring it to a... Matter of fact, the first time I went into a 380, it was so complex, I thought it would be 10 times more difficult. 380, by the way, is the biggest passenger on the best arrangement. You could get 622 people on the plane, 622 on one flight. And the first time Emirates took delivery of their first 380, I flew it from New York to Dubai. So it was a huge experience. But now, I spoke to a pilot when I went to visit them in a cockpit, and they said it was actually easier to fly a 380 than a smaller plane. I was like, how is that possible? If you know what you're doing. So you see, not all complexities are complex if you know where to start. So I totally understand you.
No, I understand you too, you know. And I'm saying you're thinking you know where to start until you enter the Ghanaian system. Look, everything works so differently here. I'm not disputing you, but I'm saying you'd be better off taking some time to understand the framework of how things operate here before you know how you're going to...
So now let me ask you this. If they were to bring Jack Ma, you know who Jack Ma is, right? Or they were to bring Elon Musk, or they were to bring Warren Buffett, say, go and run Ghana, you think they would have a problem running Ghana?
Oh, yeah, they will.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
They will be shocked. Say, is this, what is this?
Because you see,
They have to now start setting up things that will work. They can't just come and implement what they know
No,
and
no.
how they've done it in Ghana?
No, KSM, because you're thinking they have to do it themselves. They don't. A
Well,
leader,
somebody has to do it.
but a leader assembles the competencies who know and understand. You see what I'm saying? You think I'm going to be doing this? I know what needs to be done. You see, that's why you need a mastermind. That's the purpose of a mastermind.
Yeah.
You see, when you don't assemble a mastermind, you think you know, I'm not gonna come in here and dump my brain on the people of Ghana all at once. That would be destruction. No, I'm coming in here with my leadership skills to say, who are the best people? We bring them to us. We have brought them together as a team that we have, and we have had engagements with them. So we know exactly where we're starting. So it's not as complicated as you think.
It is very complicated.
You think so?
Very, very, very complicated.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you this. If you take the same Ghanaians who are in Ghana, who have created this complex situation that you think is complicated, you put them on a plane, you fly them to London or to New York or to Singapore or to China, they change overnight. You know why? Expectation. You know why they change? The same people who created the chaos in Ghana, bring them to US, to China, to Singapore, they change. Because there are systems that...
And they go there to conform to the system.
Uh-huh.
They go there to conform to the system.
Absolutely.
They don't go there to establish a system. They're two different things.
No, but they...
You know, when you are talking about establishing a system.
No. That's me establishing a system for them to conform to. Totally different. You see? Okay, so now let me tell you this. If we took everybody in Newtown or East Legon or Airport, all Ghanaians, and we brought them to New York today. New York is even a little bit more complicated. New York is just like circle anyway, so we're not going to do New York. Let's say we brought them to Singapore. Okay, or we bring them to Shanghai, or we bring them to Doha. Doha, I like Doha. So we bring everybody in Newtown to Doha. There are systems there for them to conform to. Do you agree with that? Okay, good. So now, let's just say that these same people went to sleep, and by the time they wake up, they're in Ghana. But then when they wake up in Ghana, the systems that we have in Doha now is what is around them. Guess how they will behave?
If the system that they had in Doha put place in Ghana?
Yeah. How are they going to behave? You think they're going to behave like the way they behaved in Ghana, the filthy Ghana, or they're going to behave like the way they see Doha with all the systems in place?
They're going to behave like the way they see Doha.
What has changed?
Because now they have seen the system and they have understood the system. So you bring them back to Ghana with that system. They know how to work in that system. They've understood it.
That's all we're going to do in Ghana.
I know. But you are going to establish a system.
No, we already have a system. We're not going to come and say, let's do try and error. No, it's a system that already works. We take it and we put it in Ghana. Now, they're going to be...
I understand you. I'm saying that on paper it's perfect. But when you're dealing with the Ghanaian, it is a totally different ball game. Not just the Ghanaian, but because there's a certain mentality that we have grown up with.
Because they are, listen, I've worked with Ghanaians all over the world. And when the moment they leave Ghana and they get on the plane, their attitudes change. Listen, their attitudes change. You follow a Ghanaian to a bathroom on one of these 737s going to London, with British Airways. When they go to the bathroom, they behave differently. They flush, they clean the toilet seat, you know what I'm saying? Because they're already in their minds, they know, you understand me? When they go to the same toilet in Accra, Mokola, they piss on the seat and they're not worry about cleaning it up, and they don't care who's using it next. So, and another thing too, anytime you put people in the system, without a doubt, there are going to be some of them who falter. Most Ghanaians are going to say, hey, na kwa we oba Ghana person sisan ye yempene. Granted, you will get that. But you always have to have a system is constricted in a way that anytime they fall out of line, there is a correction mechanism in a form of punishment to realign them.
You think we don't have that?
No, we don't. Now we call one cycle na we far traffic lights mo na we ko jina ba bi na lodu car na police bar. There no here.
The police are supposed to arrest them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
what I'm talking about. That is Ghana.
Because system ni nye juma full circle. So tell us because system if the system worked now one mamu obia body camera. Now kai jina on the side and you refuse to arrest them. No idea in some now. Hey,
that
right?
is the system.
But sana system. Now what's your body camera into your pickle? Before Ubedu Depot, no, your mouth sign said, Masa, Kofi made you my wife. Oh, my Adriana, yeah, we picked you on a camera, man. It's over for you. Won't me go down to what?
They won't me go down to what? But the whole camera, camera. No.
Masa,
the whole concept is how do you beat the system?
Listen, when they come abroad, they're the same way. Right?
So they can't get away with it all.
No.
Yes, they can.
No, but in American, here they come because there's a broken system.
Okay.
Once you make the system intact, Dan Parikred him say, "Os follow out of line, you be in the chinano." You think he's going to let these guys get away?
No, he won't let them get away.
There you go.
But the problem is establishing that system.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, we have to understand that the best time ever that circle was clean. Who said paper crowd that form was when it was under saying. So Jamal be no circle and no they say no born. Oh, you probably were not even born
so
then.
Man,
Charlie, the place was spotless.
But you see, that's not a system.
And it wasn't a system. What the tour? I'm saying, unfortunately, that's the only system we respond to.
Yeah, but you see, but this is the problem.
Unfortunately,
but KSM, no. But I totally understand you. But this is the problem. The problem is, you see, you cannot. Systems are very specifically designed, and you have to do it in its fullness, or you will not get the result. We are.
Kofi, I understand you, but I'm saying. You think it's so simple, but the system, I'll put that system in the cycle to work. No, I'm saying it will take lots of time.
Like what? And taking lots of time. Because the same person now on your functional in the Ghana system, no, Oba Bruchira Odim Raso. There is an element, say, Obechmia flip it. Now, you are not giving them a reason to.
You are dealt with. There are consequences.
And that's what I will create. The consequences, you know. KSM, you know I love you. You know I love you.
But
Masa, me come on yeah, do ba near Cassie. You arrest you KSM na okay. Move man 100 years. Would Kofi Janto background part, the other wouldn't be background, best me a sound lock in a cajon. Me my no, Massa, and yeah, a yisa, Mister was saying to Mrs. Away. Listen, let me tell you something. No, but let me tell you this. I've been a federal government principal for 24 years. I didn't get one warning. I didn't get anybody writing something about me in terms of a complaint. 24 years. And I supervise a group of stockbrokers and financial advisors. One more year, talk about not following the rules. And this business is the most regulated business in the world. Okay. Working as a principal under the Securities and Exchange Commission, National Association of Securities Dealers, right? Not one complaint, because I write you up that you fired. And we got the best record. we were the #1 sales team in the whole of the U.S. Why? Because no nonsense, man. And you see, let me tell you this. People are people everywhere in the world, anywhere you want to take them. Then there's been a test. If you take the Ghana brain, the Chinese brain, the Asian brain, the Anglo-Saxon brain, and you do what we call the deoxyribonucleic sequence analysis on the brains are all the same. Environment is what changes the brain. We change an environment and we put in consequence for not falling in line, people change. That's not what I am saying. That's a scientific fact. That's why Singapore is the way. If you go back and you read the story of Singapore, you will not believe the slums, the killings, the robbery that was going on in Singapore before Lee Kuan Yew came, and he changed it
overnight.
Well, it wasn't
Only
overnight. Oh, Aubrey, yeah, but
Yes!
the axe went down. The axe is getting ready to go down. Hey.
Okay, folks. Kofi, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
I agree
but
with what you're saying.
Yeah, because there's no other way.
I'm all for that. I am all for that. I'm just saying, say, brace yourself because Ghana for no and Sweden ain't easy. The thick man that will have to send the axe down that you bring in the crown. They are 1 out of 10,000 like Binyan. Obiara baby actually. My father son China. Obiara no be yes, if simple. Management. Ghana.
Oh, see, I
But show some love, man. Show some love. And we want the discipline, and I support the discipline, and I support law, and I support order. Now, Kofi Koranteng Beya, then he has my backing. So Beya, he has my backing.
Yes, that's all I want. If I get KSM's backing, I'm the next president of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to introduce you to the next president of Ghana, Kofi Koranteng, as signed and approved by the almighty KSM.
So I'll let you sign up for me.
Well, let's
feel free. Baby.
Yeah, so Ghana for your friend Kofi Koranteng. I'm thankful to be on this show, to all the listeners and people who have been have graced this platform to make it the #1 platform that it is. And I am telling you that there's no person who's running for candidate as prepared as I am, because I know my stuff. I am operating at a level 5. And we're not coming in with any external monies that's going to affect the way we do things. This is pure organic Ghana backing. And that's why maybe you may be saying that you haven't seen a lot of Kofi Koranteng all over the place. But we're doing it the right way, because this time we want to really serve the people of Ghana. We want to show Ghana the way. We want to make Ghana globally competitive at all levels. And we want to let the people of Ghana enjoy life as they should. So we want you to come along and support us. Our Momo number is 059-999-5120. 059-999-5120. Join our team and help us spread the word to all over Ghana and beyond, so that everybody who hears this good message will come along and help us spread the message even further. Call our office at 0505-124-109, 0505-124-109, and join our team. You can also reach us on www.kofikoranteng.com to take a look at our policies, so that if you have anything you want to input or maybe bring our minds to, you could send us a message there. But Thank you so much. This is our moment. This is our moment in history. I'm in a position now to change the trajectory for the youth of Ghana. We want to be able to bequeath the next generation of Ghanaians with something special, something that for the next million years in Ghana, everybody's going to say, yes, we had some leaders take over Ghana and change Ghana for us to also have the bragging rights that everybody else has, so that we are not at the bottom of the social ladder everywhere we go. Let's make Ghana special. Let's change it for Ghana once and for all. I thank you for this time. And come December 7th, I pray that you, Kokromuchi Power, vote for me to come and serve you. Thank you so much.
And on that note, we are, let the whole world say, out of here.
The KSM Show.